It's 11:50 a.m. in Wellington, New Zealand.
Oh, cool. So you guys are getting ready to have lunch. That's cool. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. So yeah, guys, I got the Freevision VILTA-M. I got the DJI Osmo Mobile. If anybody has any questions, any concerns, any ideas, now is the time. We can actually start testing some of these cool gimbals live on our channel over here, because we covered them. I did a couple videos with the Freevision VILTA-M. I did a couple videos, of course, a ton of videos with the Osmo. But now we have an iPhone XS Max. So I'm going to start with the Freevision VILTA-M over here and try to see the difference in terms of like balancing this gimbal. So I'm going to use the iPhone 10, the traditional iPhone 10. I'm going to rock it in so you guys can see the difference in magnitude over here. By the way, before we do anything over here, just look at the size difference over here. I have the iPhone 10 on my hand, my left hand, and on my right hand, the XS Max. So they're pretty phenomenal looking phones. I even have the same backgrounds and everything. But it's substantially larger, kind of like a Plus phone, but the whole thing screen, which I love. And for example, in the Freevision, if we put in the iPhone 10 by itself, so you see it starts rocking to one side. So in order to balance it, we're going to go ahead and switch the little back arm. By the way, anytime you use your gimbal, you should balance your gimbal before you start shooting, before you turn it on, before you do anything. You got to make sure that your gimbal is fully balanced, especially now that these phones are becoming larger and larger, because you don't want to burn your motors. So let's see. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. Let me just push it a little bit towards the right here. A little bit more. You can actually mark your gimbal once your phone is set. For example, right now, this is pretty good. It's kind of retaining its, little horizontal position there. The next thing you need to do when you're balancing is just to make sure that the phone stays fully flat, right? So if you hold your gimbal and you have your phone like this, then the phone should technically stay there. And if you put it this way too, it should stay there. Once your phone's that way, you're definitely going to have a much easier, much better experience when you're filming. And when we turn this guy on, ambulance, then we're ready to go. And that actually helps prolong the life of your motors. That way the phone's not tilting one left or the other. I tend to use my gimbals without a case with my phones. I actually do not have a case on my new phone, so that's crazy. So yeah, that's how we do it on the Freevision VILTA-M. There is no mechanism for the Freevision VILTA to adjust to portrait. So if you want to do portrait shots, you're going to have to kind of like give it a little rotation to the side like that. So momentarily you can interact with the gimbal and you can do your Instagram lives or all that fun stuff. And then you just rotate back. So that's a little bit on the iPhone 10. Let's go to the questions real quick. Have you had a chance to test the Moment lenses? Would like to hear your thoughts? Honestly, I have not been able to test Moment because I'm still waiting for my order. I made the big mistake of ordering the anamorphic Kickstarter simultaneously in that same chunk of order. I also ordered a wide angle lens and a iPhone 10 case, and everything has been delayed. I still don't have it. Apparently it's coming, but it's not here. In the meantime, though, the good people from Smove, you guys know that one of my favorite gimbals is Smove, and I've actually been very fortunate to work with the company Smove in some of their promo material on their YouTube channel as well. And they actually sent me a little lens. It's called the Smove lens. Definitely not as heavy and bulky as the Moment lenses. It's more of a traditional type of lens, a little bit inexpensive solution that gives you a really good wide angle solution. This does not replace, I would say, the array of Moment lenses like the anamorphics and stuff like that. But for example, this little lens is very portable. It just, it just goes in with the little mounts, and this mount just simply clips onto the phone. We've seen some of these on the internet, but this one is Smove branded, and it's a 2-in-1. This one has macro and wide angle. So it's a 0.63, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double 0.68 wide angle. So it'll give you kind of like a couple steps back. It does have a little vignetting, a little bit of that curve, earth looking type of thing, right? So it gives you a little bit of a fisheye. But the macro quality is really good. I'm actually working on a couple of videos for this thing. I did one for them from New York City last week, and it was really, really cool. And then I, just simply place it in the lens in your phone. You can like just rest this piece over here. Now, this is not as heavy as a Moment lens, but for anybody who's struggling with like a case and just a heavier phone overall, I have over here the Moment counterweights, which definitely recommended if you have any plus size phones or any iPhone XS Max or any Note 9 with a case. Regardless, if you use a case, the gimbal by itself might be too big or too heavy for most gimbals. For example, the DJI Osmo Mobile, if I'm not mistaken, the max payload is 202 grams. On their website, it can hold a little bit more, but on the safe side. So this little thing will attach with a little Velcro situation to the side of the gimbal, and this is the 60 grams version. Now, if 60 grams is too much, you can actually take off the sides of the Moment counterweight, and then now you have 30 grams, right? So kind of like have two of them over here. So it says over here 30 G's, 30 gram, and the other one will be 30 grams as well, probably just slightly heavier because of the center mount. But long story short, you get the idea. There's also some really cool tripod mounts at the bottom, so you can mount it on a tripod, put it at the bottom of the gimbal with a double-sided tripod mount. So there's a couple really good options, but definitely, guys, Moment counterweight. If you have an iPhone XS Max, iPhone 8 Plus, 7 Plus, Note 9, or Galaxy S9 Plus, Galaxy S8 Plus, or any phone that's big and you would like to use your case with it, definitely the counterweight will be something I would recommend. If anybody ends up picking up anything Moment, remember that at the link of all my videos, I have a Moment lens affiliated account link, and that saves you 10%. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what we got over here. All gimbals you reviewed so far, which is your favorite? Jeremy asks, which gimbal is my favorite? That's a tough one, Jeremy. Welcome to the stream, Eric. I'm going to give you my top 3. And it's kind of weird because I feel that every gimbal does something unique. For example, the DJI Osmo Mobile has been the pillar, so to speak, on the gimbal marketplace for a couple of years now. But the DJI Osmo Mobile, it's always going to be in those top 3, right? I feel that if you have an iOS device, the software on this thing is very, very powerful, very, very strong. But if you have an Android device, the DJI Osmo Mobile application, all their software, I feel it's one of the better ones for Android devices. So not in a specific order, but I feel definitely that DJI Osmo Mobile is up there somewhere. The other item that I am a fan of, that I always have with me, it does not matter where I go. I don't know where I put it now. I think I left it in the counter. Yes, I left it in the counter. Because I was actually using it today a little bit just to test a couple things. But once again, not in a specific order, the Smove Mobile has become a personal favorite of mine. Number one, it looks super sleek with the new black finish. They changed the materials, so the materials now on the gimbal are a little bit more stronger, a little bit more robust. But my favorite thing is the fact that it extends. This gives me a little bit more distance for jib shots, underslog modes, or any sliding shots I need to kind of like get higher or slower or lower. I really, really like that extension. I didn't really think that I was going to like it as much as I do. But yeah, I also like the fact that it can switch when you're doing landscape and you hold it like this. You hold the trigger, press the mode button, it switches to portrait automatically. So you can do Instagram, and both the DJI Osmo Mobile and the Smove Mobile connect directly to your phone. So you don't need to use their app. I honestly use the native camera app 8 times out of 10. because I'm more of a run and gun type of guy. And both the DJI Osmo Mobile and the Smove Mobile connect directly to the phone. So you don't really need to use any apps. You can use Instagram with those phones and use the little buttons to trigger the shutter. So definitely those two are going to be in my bag most times. And then it's going to be a tie, I would say, between the Freevision VILTA and the Moza Mini Me. Those are going to be my favorite ones as well. I like the Moza Mini Me because the Moza Mini Me has the wheel. And it kind of like makes your life a little bit easier when you switch your modes, zooming in and out. It's kind of cool. On iOS, it's very smooth and very fluid. On Android, at least on my Samsung Galaxy S6 Plus, it has been like kind of like weird and not fluid. But I've seen that consistently throughout all the smartphones, all the Android alternatives. So if I use DJI on my Samsung, it does that same thing. So I don't think it's a gimbal thing. I think it's just a platform optimization thing. But I like the fact that the Moza Mini Me has wireless charging baked into the grip, so you can charge your phone simultaneously. This guy supports 300 grams of payload. So even your plus size phone should have no problem. Just to put it in perspective, the new iPhone XS Max, if I'm not mistaken, is 208 grams in terms of weight. The Osmo is 204, 202. So I'm around the bush over here, but this has no problem in running the Note 7, the Note 9, the iPhone XS Max, just all the big phones. If you have a phone that big, or you have cases that will make it bulky, or you want to use moment gear, definitely the Moza Mini Me is in my list. And last but not least, I feel that the Freevision VILTA-M is a fantastic alternative to substitute the DJI Osmo Mobile as well. Not that one's better than the other or whatever. To me, it's not kind of like a competition type of thing. They all have their homes on somebody else's, based on somebody else's needs. But I really like the size. It's a little bit smaller than the DJI Osmo Mobile. I like that it does full 360 panning. It's unlimited. So this is fantastic for motion time lapses, or if you're doing active tracking, let's say you're a reporter or a real estate agent and you just want to walk around like an island on a kitchen. This is really, really useful, while the DJI Osmo Mobile will cap at 340 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely like this one, quoting 17 hours of battery life on their website, which is pretty crazy. And their app is actually really, really good. It's actually very, very close, if not very similar to the DJI Osmo Mobile in terms of performance, because one of my favorite things is that when you're doing the motion time lapse, you can select those different points, go from point A to point B, C. You can select multiple points. Then you can select your intervals and your duration. But then you can actually manually draw. So for example, if you're going from one point to the other, you don't necessarily have to have the gimbal go in a straight line. You can draw on the screen an arch or just like a little zigzag line, and you can have the gimbal follow that pattern. If you haven't checked that out, I uploaded a video, DJI Osmo Mobile versus the Freevision VILTA-M, to my YouTube channel. So once you're done with this video, go check it out and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any unique cases that, oh, this will benefit me, because I've learned so much from you guys over the past couple months. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, just to answer your question, Jeremy, I know it was a long one, but hopefully that answered. I feel that in any given day, if I needed to go out, I would either get the Moza Mini Me or the Smove. Those are going to be like narrowing down everything. Typically, I carry 3 gimbals with me every time I travel, and more often than not, I'm going to have the Moza Mini Me, I'm going to have the Smove Mobile, and or the DJI/VILTA. So that's kind of like my little combo. Okay, Hirano, hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Jeremy, forgot the name of your band. Been wanting to get your latest album. Last time we talked, it was soon to be released. Yes, Jeremy, the album is actually not out. There's currently there's an EP on iTunes, Spotify, all that fun stuff. And I'm not featured on that EP. We just released a song though a couple months ago called "Leaving Our Hearts and Minds." and it's available and you can hear me screaming and all that fun stuff. But actually today, so far today was the last day of me recording vocals and tweaking like little things. So we're done, but we're just revisiting. Oh, okay, this could be better, like little things. But the record should be in final stages of mixing and mastering very shortly. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love metal music. I love rock. I just love music in general. And I do have a band and I do perform regularly here in California. So yeah, thank you for asking. Mr. Sam 2A, do you have some comment about the VILTA-M after your usage? It's really the best or not? I'm going to be honest with you, man. If you've never had a gimbal and you were debating to get either like an Osmo or like a VILTA-M, the VILTA-M is a really, really good gimbal. I think it all comes down to price and what you're looking to do. The VILTA-M has some really good experimental features on Android too. So I think it's one of the very first gimbals that I see that has higher frame rates for Android. So I would definitely explore that if you're in the Android side. If you're in the iOS side, it's so difficult. The battery life is really good. Just the interface is really good as well. It feels solid, doesn't feel cheap. That's another thing, right? I do like the materials. This type of material, it's plastic, but it's that strong plastic. It's that good plastic. It feels strong, and then this metal in the back over here. The Osmo is a fantastic gimbal as well, but you can actually hear the different density in the plastic. This regular plastic, and this is like a little bit stronger plastic with rubber. So it's like a little bit more like compacted and it just feels dense. So honestly, like I love them both. If you do, however, like to do a lot of portrait stuff, then the Osmo has that portrait switch. Both of them can be rotated sideways so it fits a portrait. But 17 hours of battery life and manual motion time-lapse mode, 15 hours of battery life, zoom switch, and a really good software as well. It's tough. It all comes down to you. These are actually being sold at different stores locally too. I believe Target might have them, and there were some outdoor stores in the Midwest. They also carry them. These ones you can find at B&H, you can find on Best Buy, you can find it all over the place. So it's one of those things that will make you comfortable. Regardless if you have the VILTA-M or the DJI Osmo, you're going to be able to get really smooth shots. Regardless, I'm very impressed. But size does matter in this situation. So you can see that the VILTA-M, it's a little bit more compacted, a little bit smaller. I don't know, man. I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards the VILTA-M, but it all comes down to context. They're both so good. If anybody comes down and says, hey, we only have an Osmo or we only have a VILTA, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to be able to get the job done. No problem. So yeah, at this point with the gimbal game, it's no longer which one's better. It's just what things will make your workflow better, because they all kind of, segregate and interlace, and they do it all. They all do it all. So no slow-mo for Android. Yeah, most of these guys won't have slow-mo. Now, if you have Android, there's experimental high frame rate settings on the Freevision VILTA. Let me actually put in my Android phone over here. I got the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, and actually on a separate order, I got the Moment case, but the lenses haven't arrived. So this one supports 220 grams. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my Android phone here so you guys can see how that works. All right, so we got the Android phone here. Of course, we had the iPhone 10 here balanced, so I'm going to have to kind of like move the little back arm so I can kind of like balance it as much as I can, almost all the way actually. Yeah, completely all the way. That way you lock it in place. There we go. And then the same thing happens for the phone piece. So we want to make sure that this phone is fully balanced as well on the horizontal time frame. Like, there we go. A little face down. Yeah. So we got it this way. Now with the Moment case, I've noticed that it might not stay fully like that way. And that's okay. As long as you get pretty good balance, you should be golden. So I'm going to turn it on. And this is what I was saying with the Freevision. You can actually do portrait that way. So I'm going to unlock the phone with my finger over here because we got the fingerprint sensor. I missed those. And then I'm going to open the FV Share app. I'll show you real quick. It's going to be inverted. I'm doing the Freevision app right now. So yes, allow the Bluetooth. Let's connect. So it's connecting to the Freevision app. You can see it right here. We're getting some good action. There's a firmware update. I'm going to skip it for now just to show you this quick menu, but I'm using the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Fantastic phone, really good camera, a little bit too saturated for me to be a daily commuter, but it's fantastic. If you have one of these, you can make fantastic videos. I was surprised with the Android stabilization as well on the Samsung Galaxy S8. So if I were to go over here to Freevision VILTA and I go to the menu, I'm going to show you real quick because it's weird, right? You got the resolution things at the top. It's inverted right now. You can't really see, but you got 4K at the top and 1080p at the bottom. So that's a plus. So you can get 4K, 4032 by 2268 or 1920 by 1080p for photos. For video resolution, we have kind of like a 3K-ish. It's going to be 2880, 2160. That's going to be the top, right? Followed by 1080 and then 720 and then 480. But there's experimental on the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Can't really see it properly here, but that's higher resolution. See over here, it says 120 frames per second. So the Freevision VILTA-M on Android, at least on this specific phone, don't quote me on Android because Android's too specific, but on the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, it allows me to shoot at 120 frames per second at the 720p resolution. You can even go up to 240 frames per second. And this is kind of like unprecedented because typically smartphone gimbals haven't had these options for Android. So it's right there. It's under experimental features, high frame rate experimental. So hopefully that helps out Eric. Definitely something that when I saw it, I was like, what? Up the duff again. Hey, don't know if you remember me from some time ago when I had issues with my Osmo Mobile 2, but that would vibrate like mad. Has yours been fault-free? Yeah, my DJI Osmo Mobile has never given me any issues. Once again, every single time that I'm using it, I make sure that everything is fully balanced. So if I were to turn this off, I think this is going to tilt, but the whole thing will stay within the same realm. Right? So I turned it off. And that's it. But you see, it didn't tilt side to side. So typically, I try to do the best I can to get the most balance while the gimbal's off, right? And if your gimbal's leaning regardless, then definitely using a moment counterweight will be what I would recommend. You can get some money off if you use my link. Save some money, get yourself some ice cream with that link. Everything that I use, guys, it's on the link on all my videos. I do have an Amazon kind of like a little page so you can see everything that I've interacted with. If you have any questions, the best place to find will be on my Instagram, instagram.com/EMT Films or just at EMT Films. If you send me a comment or send me a DM, I have no problem in checking and supporting and seeing what's up. So hopefully, Eric, that gives you a little bit more ammunition for the slow-mo. Who has best software? I feel it's going to be a tie between these two guys right now. The Osmo and the Freevision have fantastic software. The active track I've seen in videos looks great on the Freevision. Yes, that was also another thing. Tim, thank you for sharing that. The active tracking on the Freevision VILTA-M has been fantastic. Now on Android, once again, it's very give or take. It works, it's there. But if we were to compare it to the iPhone, which I did in my previous video, the iPhone definitely was much snappier. There's a lot more detail going on there, I feel. You know what? There's also another thing that I wanted to try, and I'm going to try it here for the first time. I'm going to actually place my iPhone XS Max on the Freevision VILTA-M. I'm going to use a face tracking situation because the new iPhone records now 60 frames per second in the front-facing camera, which I'm stoked because I film all of this, typically all my vlogs, I film with a front-facing camera, believe it or not. except of course if I'm filming something, B-roll and things like that. So this might actually improve the active tracking gimbal to gimbal because you have more frames. Of course, the developer has to take care of that. But for example, let's see, I'm using my phone over here. We're trying to get more balance. You see how this is like pretty good. If I were to put it this way, pretty good as well. There we go. Let's turn it on. Unlock it with the face. By the way, my wife should be coming soon. So as soon as she gets here, you might see her walk, and then we'll say hi to her. And then that's an indication that I have to start ending the stream because we're probably going to go ahead and grab dinner. But I figured I'd, do a little live stream before she gets here. So right now we're going to do the FV Share Freevision VILTA-M on the iPhone XS Max. It's the first time I'm actually using the Freevision on this phone. I'm very excited about this. There we go. Ooh. I'm going to use one of these small little trusty tripods. You can find these also on my Amazon page. These are very, very inexpensive. I think they're like $8 or something like that. I'm actually going to put the Freevision right here. Push this a little bit back. There we go. So you can see it. Flip the camera. So I'm going to see if the tracking situation is any different. Right now, I'm going to use my iPhone X to have it track my face. There's HDR, there's better lighting performance and all that fun stuff. All right, so far it's doing a pretty good job. It's keeping me in frame. It's hard for you to see what's going on the screen, of course, but even though I have a huge window to my right with a lot of light, you see when you get in front of the window, you get a lot of overexposure, and then I turn dark. The phone is doing still a pretty good job keeping me in frame. Right, even if I do it pretty fast, it lost me there. Let's try to do it again and see if it reacts to me. Oh, the app crashed. There we go. Let's open it again and give it another go. So a little live testing for you guys. That way you know what I go through every single time that I have to test these videos. So let's do it again. Let's try it. Let's do video. Flip the camera around. Yeah, I have to update the firmware update because it keeps crashing. I guess they released a new firmware update for the Freevision VILTA-M and the iPhone XS Max. So let's do that. Let's hit the upgrade and keep answering questions. But I'm very stoked. I'm going to do a little bit more robust testing on that and see if I can give you some really good footage and really good testing, comparing the old phone, iPhone X versus XS Max and then Android, so you can see better difference. So, but the active tracking, Tim, it is pretty good. The Freevision tracking is going to be perfect for me to record dog training sessions where I need to move around, but it allows the yeah, that's also really good if you're doing 360 stuff like real estate agents, or if you're into fitness and you're doing a lot of video recordings in that realm, then definitely the Vilta might give you a better time. Kenny, quick question: can I call you? No. Yeah, no, don't call me that way. Mr. Sam, at this, my heart is balancing for the Freevision. This is for my first gimbal, but for all those gimbals, all of them have updates or not? Thanks for your answer. Yes, right now I'm actually doing a firmware update for the Freevision VILTA-M. Over time, the developers or the companies will update the gimbals with tweaks and balances and add new features and things like that on their app. So it happens. Inception effect with the Freevision is possible as soon as this upgrades. I'll demo it, but you pretty much will hold it in kind of like torch mode, and when you rotate, the whole thing kind of like rotates as well, but it's a little bit different. It's not quite the Moza Mini Me. The Moza Mini Me Inception mode is like pretty legit. This one's kind of like, oh, this one actually can do something similar, but it's not the same. It's close, but not the same. Thanks for the gimbal updates, Ed. Got a jet. Hey, take care, Hirano. Thank you. Tim, you okay with the plastic feel of it? You mean the Osmo, or which one? Tim Mackey. Which one are you talking about with the plastic feel? Wait, you married? Kenny, yes, I'm married. I don't have any kids. You should use your back camera and rotate it at 180 with the 360 angle Freevision. This should be better now. You can, but the only challenge that I can't see if I'm doing tracking, Sam, that it's very difficult to go to like tap around the screen. You might need to use a mirror or something like that. But it's very hard when I'm on the go to use the rear camera and perfectly frame it. I have no problem, honestly, with the front-facing camera. If you have really good lighting conditions. If you don't, you might notice a big difference in terms of like the noise and the dynamic range. But all my videos, what's up everybody, welcome back, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. All those videos are all front-facing camera since forever. So I'm willing to compromise a little bit there as long as it's not too much of a compromise. I have no problem with that. Eli, with Moment, wide angle lens, many times the motor is in the view. Which gimbal works best with a wide angle lens? I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be like an ongoing thing with the gimbals. I do like the fact that some of them, are either a little bit more to the left or a little bit lower, right? So I don't know if you can see here, but like the Smove, for example, is not fully straight, like behind. It's like a little bit tilted down. So when you hold it normally, the motor is by itself out of the way. So if you have a gimbal like the Osmo or like the Freevision that the gimbal motors are actually like parallel with the back, then definitely I would recommend you to hold the torch mode so you can get the gimbal out of the way. So for example, if you have this, you see how the motor's like right, like at the same level of the phone. It's not like tilted down. So you can pretty much do the torch mode and walk this way. I wouldn't recommend you to fully do it flat like this. I do always kind of like a 45 or kind of like a little angle. That way the gimbal is absorbing as much as possible, because if you do this, then you can go up and down without any support. So definitely holding it this way will get the motor out of the way, right? And once you get the motor out of the way, then you'll be able to enjoy your footage. But that's another really cool thing that I like about the Smove, is that the motor is never really like, even if it was straight, the motor is a little bit more inclined, like further down than the actual device. Let me actually use my iPhone 10. I got so many different options now. Why am I showing you without placing a phone? And it's almost pretty good in balance right now. So I'm going to turn this guy on. There we go. So you see how the Freevision VILTA-M has the motor kind of like right there in front of the phone. So it's like almost at the same height. So it's going to show regardless. So you would have to move the motor out of the equation. Well, here, the motor by itself is a little bit further down already. So it might show, but that's just very minuscule, because then when you do something like this, the motor is completely out of the way and you're not fully flat. You still have an angle. And that's amazing, because that way the motor's out of the way, the gimbal's still giving you a little bit of like cushion there, a little bit of support. This is a little much, I feel, but definitely this. See how the motor now is fully underneath the phone, but then we still have a really nice angle here. It's not quite flat. So that's why I like also the Smove pretty much, because it's kind of out of the way. And when you use their lens, this is also a wide angle lens. When you clamp it in there, bam, then it actually shows when you're fully flat just a tiny little bit, but when you hold it normally, when you're walking around, it's just not a problem. So for other gimbals like the Osmo or the Freevision or even the Moza Mini-Me, definitely try to do one of these and get the motor out of the way. But it's going to happen no matter what. Another thing that you can do is that you can push the phone towards the left, a little bit further out, kind of like that. But then you might need something to counterweight that gap, right? So the phone's going to tilt one way, Moment counterweight might support you there. So that's just food for thought. Let me know if you try it. If you update or upload any clips to Instagram, feel free to tag me there, because I would love to see those results. I would love to see all that fun stuff. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, Eli. Thank you for the question, though. That was a really good question. Let's see, Mr. Sam, I challenge you to do a dolly zoom inception effect for the glory. Mr. Sam, I have actually. I've done inception mode with The DJI Osmo Mobile, I've done not inception mode, the dolly zoom, the little Jaws effect, vertigo, that's I've done vertigo with the Smooth 4 when it first came out. I feel that was one of the very first gimbals who marketed the whole vertigo mode. But I also did vertigo with the Moza Mini-Me. Let me actually copy that link and drop it here. That way you guys can see it. But yeah. Oh, actually, on this video, the one that I'm dropping right there, I did both dolly zoom, right? Kind of like zooming in and compressing the background, kind of like that little Jaws effect, while the inception mode was going on. It's pretty amazing because on iOS, when you're using the Moza Mini-Me on iPhone, the bottom of the wheel, it's an automatic zoom or an automatic zoom out. Super cool. And that way, while you're in inception mode, all you have to do is zoom and rotate this at the same time, and it will give you that really cool inception mode while it's zooming in. I'm nerding out a little bit, but I'm a fan. That link that I just posted there on the comment section, it's the video that you were asking for. It has it in there. So let me know what you think. Check it out and let me know what you think. Really enjoy your work. Love from Argentina. Hey, Raul, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Glad you enjoy. More videos to come. In reality, guys, I've been traveling recently. I went to my brother's wedding. We went to New York City. There's a lot. I still work full time on top of doing all these videos. So it became a little challenging because, you know, my work, you know, we're ramping up in holidays coming up and all that fun stuff. So definitely having a little bit of a challenge balancing things as far as how much time I'm spending editing videos. And traditionally my schedule goes, I wake up very early, traditionally at around 6 a.m. and then I don't go to bed all the way until like 1 or 2 in the morning. And then I've repeated that process for over 10 months. And up until recently, I kind of like crashed, like my body gave up. One day I wouldn't even wake up because I just fell asleep. And then I just slept through half a day. And then I just started feeling like a lot of back pains and stuff like that, sitting down and stuff like that. So I decided to kind of like, okay, take care of myself. And instead of outputting like 10 videos a month, I'm kind of like slowing down a bit and still uploading, still creating my content because I can't live without it. I love to go out and film, but I'm definitely pacing myself a little bit better because I just went hard, pedal to the metal. And I developed a little bit of a back problem. I shouldn't be actually sitting in this chair right now. It's like a little low back chair. But yeah, it's definitely been interesting for the past couple of days. And but we're getting back in the fold. We're continuing to create more content, more videos. We got new iPhone XS Max. So I'm going to go through the gauntlet of all the gimbals. And before I get rid of my iPhone 10, the original smaller one, I'm going to compare them. I'm going to compare them with the iPhone and the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. So you guys can have, you know, a little bit more context and see if any of the improvements on the phone change the performance of the gimbal, because that's what we're all about. Also, another thing, sneak peek, I am not switching to DSLR or mirrorless anytime soon. This channel is 100% smartphone cinematography and filming. But the beautiful people at Moza sent me a Moza Air Cross, which is very, very similar to the Moza Mini-Me in terms of, you know, the functionality. It has an inception mode. It has all that fun stuff, and it supports SLRs, mirrorless cameras, and things like that. So I partnered with a really good friend. His name is Taylor, and he has a bunch of these. He films as well, and he uses mirrorless cameras. So we went out a couple, like 2 weeks ago, we went out and we filmed him using the Air Cross, and I was using the Moza Mini-Me. And it was kind of like a little battle and see if I could recreate some of the shots that he was recreating with his expensive camera and his expensive rig, similar to what I did with the DJI Osmo Mobile and the Ronin and the 5D Mark IV, right? So we did a little comparison just to showcase that you don't need super expensive equipment. Having said that, I took a look inside the box and we set it up and did everything. It's very nice. I'm very impressed with Moza, actually, and they keep coming up with a lot of product. Their gimbal now is $99, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really, really good value. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if anybody ends up purchasing anything, either Moment or Moza or Smove, check in with me because there's a couple coupon codes that might save you some money. I know that right now Smove is selling their gimbals and their products, and there's a code summer. I believe it still works. So that might save you some money. If you're doing Moza equipment like the Moza Mini Me, you can save 5% of your order by using promo code EMT. And then I also have a link for Moment that will save you some money too. So regardless, you buy something or not, if you're thinking of buying something, it might be a good idea to check into the videos and the description, because you might save some money. And that's, I know what it's like. I don't really would like to buy a whole lot of things and kind of like miss out on small little offers that could save you $1 or $2. So there's that. New Snoopa Atom looks like motor is out of the way. Excited to see reviews when it comes out. I've been hearing about the Snoopa thing, Atom. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. Thank you for mentioning it. Tim, the Snoopa may have some more limitations in movement because of the off-center motors and arms, but eager to see it too. I'm excited. A couple of people have asked me already, and nobody has reached out to me. I might poke him and be like, hey, what's going on? Send me one, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, definitely, like that's coming up to be something very, very popular. Like I've gotten a couple comments already for it. The link doesn't work. What's the title of the video? Oh, really? I'm gonna right click and open in a new tab real quick here and see. Yeah, it opened for me, but it's called How to Do Vertical Shots with Moza Mini Me. It's under my uploads. It's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's number 10, number 9 or number 10 on the uploads list on my YouTube channel. If not, you can go to the Moza playlist, and it's probably along the top 3 or 4. So you'll be able to find it there. Hey, there's Miss Pokey. There's my wife. Are you coming home? Are you here already? Let me know so I can start getting ready, because I feel like having dinner. It's crazy. We're FaceTime. Almost home. Had to stop for gas. Okay, makes sense. How cool is that? What are your thoughts on the Ronin S? Hey, Kenny. I had the opportunity to play a little bit with the Ronin S at the DJI booth at VidCon. I personally haven't played outside of VidCon, but I interacted with it. I saw it. And I feel it's pretty good. It's pretty robust. It's very similar to all these mirrorless camera smartphone gimbals or mirrorless camera gimbals. When I saw it and compared it to something like this, for example, it's definitely massive. It's heavy, but it's super cool and super full of potential. You got a bunch of controls, a bunch of sliders, a bunch of things that you can do. And I'm a fan of also of all, the Casey Neistats of the worlds and the Peter McKinnons of the worlds. So I see all the content that they create, and I'm pretty sure it's a fantastic unit. And there's a lot more than just the hit notes on the website. Anything that DJI puts their hands on, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's always been good. They've had a really good track record, and they've only gotten better too. So yeah. Definitely one of those things. If you have a mirrorless camera or a DSLR and you want stabilization, then consider DJI. They're a really good solution. Also, Moza comes up with all this fun stuff too that does something similar. And they just released Moza released the Moza Air 2. They announced the Moza Air 2 as well. So they're kind of like competing in that realm too. So I would totally check out what they have to do. Have you announced Moza Mini Me giveaway winner? Hey, Eli. So let me talk about that real quick. So the giveaway, there's a giveaway going on right now. And this is insider information just for you, for being able to take some of your time and visit me and hang out with me. I'm going to give you another chance to win. So I've already picked up 3 people to win the Moza Mini Me. And none of them have responded to any of my messages or any of my DMs. So I'm going to make it real simple. If you go to that video, if you're in this chat situation and you go ahead and you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Moza, very, very important. We're verifying everything. And you leave a new comment, like new, comment telling me what would you do with this gimbal if you're the winner. I'm going to take a look at that, and I'm going to sort through all of them again. I'll give you 2 entries. So if you already commented and you go again and place another comment, you'll have 2 entries, so you'll have a better chance. So if anybody that's watching this video live goes to that after this stream is over, tonight, before I close my eyes and go to bed, I'm going to select another winner and send it to Moza so they can properly investigate and make sure everything is on par with what their stipulations are, and they'll send you a gimbal. Now, very, very important, you have to have an email address in your profile. If not, how do I contact you? I can comment on your comment, but how many times are you really checking the comments and responses that you get? So you definitely want to make sure that your YouTube profile has some sort of contact information. If not, keep an eye on your comments. If I respond to one of them asking for your information, no joke, I've contacted 3 people already and nobody has responded. It kind of sucks because, hey, we randomly picked them from a website that, just randomly selects the comments just to keep things fair. But if you go and comment and make sure you're liked and subscribe to my channel and Moses' channel, you'll have 2 chances of winning. I'm allowing this because this has to end today, 100%. So thank you for asking, Eli. Definitely jump in and, hopefully everybody, participates. And the whole idea, guys, we're going to continue to do giveaways. 15K is coming. I don't know how, but we're super close to being 15,000 subs on YouTube. And I have a Smooth 4 sitting over here asking for a new owner. So just keep your eyes out. Ring the bell if you want to know more, because every time that we do giveaways, not only I'm going to place it as a video, but I'm also going to post notifications on YouTube, kind of regular posts. So I'm going to be giving away a Smooth 4 very, very soon. So you definitely want to stick around. There will be way more giveaways. There will continue to come. So if you don't win this time, do not worry. We'll continue to participate. And just a way to kind of like give back to you guys for supporting me and helping me kind of like live my dream and working on these videos, which is super cool. Thank you, Eli. Crazy that no one has a run. Dude, like I've already reached out to 3 people and most keeps asking me, it's like, hey, are you going to pick up a winner? I'm like, I have, but nobody responds. Hey, Luis, welcome back. Do you try the new firmware on the Smooth 4? It's supposed to improve the track and motion. I have updated the firmware, but have not had the chance to test it out. That will potentially happen next week. I had a couple little setbacks. This week I was actually supposed to film today, but that did not happen. That's why we're doing the live. Having said that, it's coming. I'm going to test it out. Excuse me, I promise. And my wife's home. Just bought the VILTA-M from AliExpress. Congratulations, Karen. Congratulations. That's awesome. What are you going to use your VILTA-M for? Is it going to be B-roll? Is it going to be family shots? Is it going to be fitness? What's the main thing that you're getting your Freevision VILTA for? That's exciting. Congratulations. But yeah, guys, just to kind of like start wrapping things up, we did the firmware upgrade here. So there we go. We're back on track. I'm going to do one last test. I got the Freevision VILTA-M over here with the iPhone XS Max. I just want to see if there's like any improvement, because now the front-facing camera supports HDR video as well and 60 frames per second. So that's one of the things that I continue to stay within the realm. There we go. So actually, let me stand over here and try and do it again. Let's see. Select the face. Get a little bit of distance here. There we go. It's got me in my face. It's following me. So far, so good. I'm facing it, looking pretty good. Now I'm getting darker because the window is right next to me. And it lost me. So, I mean, the Freevision VILTA-M does actually a really, really good job with tracking. If you want to see a little bit more accurate test, definitely check out the video that I created comparing it to the DJI Osmo Mobile. But for example, in this case, if I were to stay in a lit situation, in terms of where I got good lighting, it does a really good job. As you can see, it's following me no problem. If I go down, if I go up, it's being able to determine and pick up my silhouette. The challenge happens when you start clashing with different lighting situations. If I go that way, there's a window. Slowly, you'll be able to see it. And then I start getting darker. So the darker I get, the less detail the Freevision VILTA starts picking up. So I'm slowly moving there. So you see how I'm darker compared to the original one. If I move slow, I'm still doing a pretty good job. There we go. But then when you're in a situation like this, that I'm getting a lot of really good lighting, it picks up pretty fast. And then it lost me there. But for tracking, real estate, just interviews and all that fun stuff, I feel is one of the better tracking tools available out there. But definitely check out the video. Let's see, what do we got here? I gotta go. So bye. Take care, Kenny. Luis, I will be waiting for that. Hey, what's going on? EA Studio. Just done my new comment. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll definitely take some time tonight and pick a new winner. So fingers crossed. Hopefully you get that awesome gimbal, because honestly, the Freevision is amazing. But then I also love the fact that the Inception modem, the Moza Mini-Me, the wireless charging, the 300 grams of payload. It's a phenomenal product. So hopefully we can get a house for the rightful owner. You know, I make product review videos and I would use it with B-rolls. Awesome, Karen. That's awesome. I'm gonna check out your channel here. I'm gonna right click over here and save your name and check out your work. If you have anything you've been uploading with the Freevision, I'll definitely keep an eye out. Yeah, 300 grams of payload. It's crazy good. So awesome. All right, guys. I'm gonna ask for you guys to have a fantastic day. We're gonna be wrapping it up shortly. But before I do, if you guys have any lingering questions before we start winding down and closing up the stream for the day, before we do anything, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking some of your time and sharing it with me. That's one of the things that I really appreciate the most. Whether the likes and subscribes and all that stuff, to me that's irrelevant. And I do like the fact and appreciate the fact that you give me some of your time and you allow me to exercise my passion and just share some of the things I love to do with you. And hopefully it helps out and it helps you out in your daily lives and you can capture some really good moments, whether it's professional, whether it's family. So, I never get tired of saying it, but thank you so much for allowing me to do this. And if you have any final questions, now is the time, drop them down there. So we can answer them. We'll continue to do these live streams on a weekly basis, so don't hesitate. And also, if you need something or if you have any quick questions or concerns, feel free to also follow me on Instagram. I've been posting a lot on Instagram recently, and that's where I'm most of the times kind of like hanging out. It's becoming a little bit more convoluted and overwhelming to go into the comment section of all the videos because I'm definitely growing. The channel is growing, which is great. But keeping up with the comments has definitely been a task. So Instagram, I feel, will be a really good alternative if you have a pressing issue that you want to ask or something like that. I like your music song video. Where'd you get them? I got my music. I'm actually currently getting my music from Michelle Phan's website called Thematic. Michelle Phan's a fantastic, big, over-the-top YouTuber. She started YouTube a long time ago, doing makeup videos and fashion and beauty and all that stuff. And then she, stepped off YouTube to create her own businesses. And now she created a company called Thematic, which allows music to be used for YouTube videos. So she gives a platform to other musicians who want to expose their music to bigger audiences. And it's amazing because, number one, it's free. It's copyright free, but it's very easy to use. You can go there, sign up. I think you can join the wait list, and they're allowing people. You can come in. My wife's here. You can. They're allowing people little by little for you to be able to use music from a lot of big artists like Odessa. I had a video that I use Odessa, but then they also have small artists.
Hi.
Hey, you want to say hi before I wrap it up? You don't want to say hi?
Hi.
Oh my God, she doesn't want to say hi.
Hi.
Just by the way, your videos helped me choose the VILTA-M. Great channel. Thank you so much, Karan. I really appreciate your time. Hopefully I can continue to help out. And don't forget to share your stuff with me. I would love to see that. Cool. All right, guys. We're going to start wrapping it up. Thank you so much. Oh, do you mind to share the link when you're free? It's actually, let me share it with you right now. Absolutely. Why not? It's called Thematic, and it's right now kind of like, I would say kind of like in beta testing, so to speak. And you can request, hey, there she is. Everybody say hi to Laura.
Hi. I'm hungry.
Where do you get that juice?
This is my jarritos.
Oh my God. Yep, Luis, ya llegó la esposa. The wife's here. Now we're gonna have some dinner. We're gonna eat something. We haven't actually spoken too much because I've been editing a whole lot, and I work during the morning, and she comes in earlier, and then when I get here, it's already late, and we kind of like see each other for like an hour, and then she goes to sleep, and then I stay awake, and it's weird. It's kind of like being a nurse or something like that. Awesome. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this past 55 minutes. It's been great answering your questions and seeing how these gimbals are making any changes in your filming. Once again, if you have any questions, suggestions, leave a comment either here or once the video is uploaded. You can drop your comment there. I'll definitely take a look. But feel free to also follow me on Instagram because I can definitely respond a little bit better there since there's not a whole lot of traffic in comparison to YouTube. So thank you so much, guys, for taking the time. Have a good one. Peace.